So I'm out hunting for a new waterfall this morning, and I've already taken the Chevy Cruise down a four-wheeler trail, farther than I should have, honestly. And I'm not in the mood to push my luck too far, so I figured I should probably just walk the remainder of the way to the trailhead, because I don't want to get stuck or have a punctured tire. That'd be a horrible way to start the morning. Okay, I certainly made the right choice. Just, I don't know, 50 meters from the car, there's already a huge kind of berm in the middle of this trail, and I definitely would have gotten high centered with my little car. So, oh yes. I'm glad I didn't risk it, because it would have gone very, very poorly. So the destination I have in mind is Shogomoc Falls. I don't know how long the trail is to get there. I have no plans for what I'm going to do on my way there or what I'm going to do while I'm there. And I'm going to play it by ear and hopefully take some nice pictures along the way. As I'm assuming you've already seen, there might be some kind of a 30-second or 1 minute cinematic little montage of my outing this morning. And I think that's something I want to try and do, is instead of having like a intro to my videos, I think I want to have sort of like a recap in like 1 minute with some nice video footage. And I think that's because A, it'll help me practice on my storytelling, and B, I think it'd be really cool to get better with video work. So if you're seeing this clip and there was a little montage at the beginning of the video, let me know what you think, as I'm probably going to continue doing it. And I need to get around this big puddle now, which I thought would be okay, but this also looks really wet. Hopefully I don't drop my camera or get wet or get too full of ticks. Oh God. Okay, it's not too bad, but I am getting soaked. Wet grass makes for wet pants. So after walking 10 minutes from the car, it was actually 20, but I've been filming things, so I'm going to say it was 10. This is the official trailhead. It's still just an ATV trail, but we should be at the falls in no time. So I chose to come out this morning like an hour after sunrise, and this is why. So look at me now, nice bright sun. Walk 10 steps this way, and now it's dark. And, oh, there's a little froggy. Sorry, I got distracted by the frog. Yes, so I chose to come out a little bit after sunrise because I'm going to be spending most of the morning in the woods. And the woods around New Brunswick are quite dense. Especially around here, we have lots of rolling hills. I mean, they're not super tall, but they're definitely tall enough to affect the morning light. So I figured we might get more light in the woods if I waited a bit later to come out. I just found possibly the first image of the journey, and it involves these rocks, but I might have to act fast. I got really excited about that, but I don't think the image is going to work. I did take an image and I'll share it, but it's really humid right now, and it rained a lot last night, so there was kind of a bit of a haze around these rocks that are being lit up, and it's too busy, it's too noisy. I thought maybe getting like the nice green rocks with a darker rock in the background might work. Looking on the back of my camera, I think it's still a little too noisy and there's not enough separation. There are some amazing light rays right now. I need to act fast. I'm just lining up the sun behind the trees. Oh no, they're already changing. Oh shoot. I mean, they're still there, but I think I missed the best ones trying to set this little camera up. Okay, so the initial image I really wanted, I didn't get. So what I'm gonna try, I don't know, I saw this thing on Instagram where if you take a slightly longer shutter speed, like just like a quarter of a second, and you zoom in and out slowly, you can get some intentional camera movement, and it can kind of make like a warp speed effect. So I'm gonna try that. Whoa. That looks pretty cool. Look at that. All right, I really need to pick up the pace. The way this is going, I'm never gonna make it to the waterfall. I take that back. I'm not gonna pick up the pace. That's something I need to work on, is slowing down and not always being in a rush, but I like to move fast, just in general. Up the hill or down the hill? I'm gonna try down the hill. To get absolutely soaked and hopefully no ticks. Oh boy. Whew. Or slip like that. I'm putting this camera away. I'm no expert, but that there's no deer footprint. My hand for scale. Mind you, I have very small hands, but that would be a moose. Oh no. Some kind of flower or pine needle smells absolutely incredible. It's like sweet and cotton candy. It smells like if vapes actually smelt good. If I'm not mistaken, I can hear the river, at least where I think the waterfall will be, and it sounds angry, which is good for photography. The waterfall that only moments ago I could only hear, now I can see it as well, and it's glorious. And look at this, a free zip line. Just kidding, I don't want to mess with that this morning. I'm in a wicked spot without really trying, so what I'm doing is I'm going to frame up, as you can kind of see here. There's the waterfalls in the background, sort of shooting between this tree and the ferns in the foreground. Super simple image. I've spotted another simple image, but I think it's quite nice. Right over here, that tree right there, it's being lit up and nothing else around it is. So nice handheld image, 55-200 mil. And the thing I'm really trying hard to do is separate sort of this white flower in the foreground from the subject in the background, as well as some dark overhanging leaves. I'm trying to make sure it's all separate from the tree that's the subject. I've been successful with separating the white flowers, but the dark leaves on top, I don't think I'm going to be able to, just from based on the angle, but I did my best and it's not too bad, and it's barely noticeable. Head a little farther down. It seems like there's a trail. Maybe we can get closer to the falls without falling in the river. It's so nice in here this morning. Now that the sun's sort of poking through all the trees, everything's waking up, the songbirds are singing, and it's getting warmer. The sweater might have to come off here shortly. What I've just come upon is I'm really close to these falls now, and down in the river, there's all kinds of rocks. So I think I might head down there and try and use them as sort of a, oh my God, I just fell off the cliff. Use those river rocks as a bit of a foreground interest. That's a slippery one. So's that though. Oh God. Yeah, honestly. Those rocks are super slippery. It is not worth bringing my camera out there and me slipping and damaging all my equipment. So this right here, where I left everything, still a pretty good composition. So this is where I shall stay. This is a super simple image, shooting at 1/5 of a second, f9, ISO 160 on a tripod to make sure everything stays stable. And I'm probably going to end up cutting off the edges just to get rid of some of the leaves and make it a little bit more clean. And yeah, it's as simple as that. I found a different composition that should work better than the previous one. I just need to find somewhere to put my tripod to get these boulders in front of me in the foreground and then frame up the waterfall nicely behind it. Similar to a lot of my other images so far this morning, about 1/5 of a second exposure, f11, 2-second shutter release. I'm focusing on the waterfall itself and not really worrying about, oops, the foreground. Whew, it's getting humid in here. It is warming up. I have a suspicion that there's another set of falls or cascades up here. So I'm gonna go a little bit farther and see what else may be up ahead. Did I have to crawl under that log? No, not at all. Did I have fun doing it? I sure did. And I was correct. I knew there'd be another set of falls. So I once again find myself on some slippery rocks. However, in terms of sketchy slippery rocks, those other ones I tried to get on were probably like a 7.5, 8. These are only like a 3 or a 4, so it's not that bad. And I figured might be my last image of the day, so I may as well risk it. What I'm doing, similar to the last couple, I've been messing around with shutter speeds, and I decided this time I'll whip out the ND filter. So I just use a pretty cheap ND filter. It doesn't really have a proper rating. It's an ND of 2 to 400. And I'm using it to the point where I can get a 2-second exposure at f9 ISO 160. And this is what you get. There's so many compositions to be had around here with the waterfalls, in these nice, awesome old woods, even just along the river with the boulders and kind of in the valley that we are. I could and probably should spend a whole day here just capturing a whole variety of images, but today will not be that day. I got up early this morning and still haven't had breakfast, so I think I'm getting too tired to hop on rocks. I'd probably slip in the river at some point and really be upset with myself. So I'm gonna call it here. I hope you enjoyed the images, and let me know what you think of that little intro video at the start. Any tips on how to make it better or more interesting, let me know. And I'll see you on the next one.